Hello, singer. This is voice coach Jessica Neighbor, and spring is in the air, which means that it is spring recital time. So this is a series for you singers, either my private singers who I'm working with in my studio right now, or for all of you singers out there who are preparing yourselves for your spring recitals. I'm going to walk you through the key things that you need to know to get ready for your spring recital so that you feel great, prepared, amazing, fantastic, and you can sing your heart out and have a great experience. So I think that singing recitals are so important in your singing development, because if you're taking voice lessons and you're preparing, it's great to do ongoing training, right? We know how important that is for building up your voice and learning about skills, but there's nothing like a recital, is there, to light that fire and to motivate you to really get ready. I know that whenever I have a show, that whenever I'm singing with one of my bands, I feel so motivated to practice. So one of the things I love doing with my singers is having winter and spring recitals so that they can experience that excitement of getting ready for a show. It's also crucial in your development if you want to continue to be a singer either in high school or in college or in a professional capacity. Doing recitals is key. So now that I've preached about it, I'm sure you want to know all the good stuff about how to really prepare for a recital. Let's jump in with the first thing, choosing your songs. How to choose the right songs and how to really make sure that these are going to be the songs that are going to work for you at your recital. I want to give you one piece of advice that I tell all of my singers, which is sometimes right before recitals, when it's time to start choosing songs, which I always like to have my singers choose at least 2 months before. All right. A lot of them want to just pick everything new, right? So typically they're doing 2 songs and I have them do 2 contrasting songs, 2 different kinds of songs. Maybe at your recitals you're doing one, or maybe you're getting to do a whole song list. But my advice to you is to balance something new with something tried and true. So if you get to choose 2 songs, I want you to choose something that you've already been studying with your voice coach, and then perhaps choose something new. A lot of us make the mistake that we want to run out and get all new material. Oh, I'm sick of all the stuff I've been singing. I want everything to be new and shiny and be right about me right now. But what we forget is there's so much more that goes into preparing for the recital that takes a lot of time. And it's my belief that we really need to sit with a song for several weeks before we can perform it well. So my advice is to you to pick one new and one tried and true. Now, if you are being told to choose contrasting songs, that's a really important thing too. So for instance, you wouldn't want to sing 2 slow, sad love songs unless you want to just be like known as like the sad love song singer, right? You want to showcase different things. So maybe you would do one sad love song and then you would do one more up-tempo jazzy song. I also always encourage my singers to stretch themselves and do 2 different genres of music. So a genre meaning one musical theater, one pop, or maybe one R&B, or maybe one hip hop, or maybe one rock. You get what I'm saying. Another mistake I see a lot of my singers making is that they choose very ambitious songs. They'll choose an Adele song, or they'll choose like a musical theater Sondheim song. Now, if you have been practicing that, and if you are skilled and you have been trained, then yes, go for it. But I don't advise that you choose your hardest material for your recitals while you're still developing your performance skills. Because when we're performing in front of our friends, in front of our family, in front of all those excited people that show up for your recitals, our nerves are higher than when you're just practicing by yourself, or you're just practicing with me or your voice coach, right? We start to get used to that and familiar with that, and we think, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm solid. Believe me, you're gonna be more nervous. So my advice to people when they're doing recitals and auditions, similarly, is to choose something that's of medium difficulty. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult is your song that you're choosing? If it's a 10, reconsider. You also don't want to choose something that's like a 2 or a 3, right? Based on your skill level. You want to choose something based on if you're a beginner, if you're an intermediate, or if you're an advanced singer, depending on your skill level, you want to choose something that is around a 7 or an 8. So you can really showcase what you're capable of, but you give yourself a little wiggle room for the inevitable nerves that you might likely feel at your recital. Step number 2 in preparing for your recital for your songs, I highly encourage all of my singers to find digital sheet music. Now, if you are working with someone who can accompany you all the time and you can record them, then that is also a fantastic option. But I work remote with my singers, and it's much more convenient for them in different time zones all over the place to download their own digital music. So you're going to search for digital sheet music. There's lots and lots of options out there. You're going to search for your song, and then you are going to purchase and download those songs. You can also sometimes find them for free on MuseScore. Just be aware that the quality and the level of those is a bit more random. The reason why you want to be practicing with your sheet music is hopefully at your recital, you're going to be singing with a pianist and accompanist, right? And so they're going to be needing that sheet music from you. If you haven't been practicing with that sheet music, you're going to not know what's going to happen at your recital, and that's the last thing you want to do. So either practice with your voice coach who can accompany you and play the piano with you and get a instrumental recording of them so that you can practice at home, or download digital sheet music and with your voice coach definitely ensure that you're singing in the right key and the right tempo. And the cool feature with digital sheet music is that you can change the tempo and you can even change the key if it doesn't exactly suit your voice. How exciting is that? Once you've chosen your songs and you've downloaded your digital sheet music, now comes the really important step, which is all about how to really practice and rehearse your songs so that you are completely ready for your recital. So something that I'll see a lot of singers do, especially the newer singers, less so with my intermediates and advanced, but with my more beginner singers, is because they're nervous, they'll just learn their song at the very base level without going deeper. They'll stop there and they'll think that they know it. But I want to give you a warning, and I learned this warning from a dear piano player friend of mine who I used to perform with. He said, make sure you really know your song inside and out, especially those sections, especially those passages that are a little bit trickier. Don't just kind of skirt through them and wing it, because those are going to be the parts that are going to come back and bite you at your live shows. And then you're going to sit there going, I shoulda, coulda, woulda practiced longer. So my advice to you is to actually study, take on, work through those harder sections of your songs. Maybe you have a bridge that's really tricky, or maybe the last part of the song, the outro, where, you know, the vocal line gets a little more free, feels intimidating to you. I want you to take on those sections of your song that feel the most challenging and work on those over time until you really, really feel confident. I'll give you a short story about myself for an example. When I got the really awesome honor of singing the national anthem for the San Francisco Giants before one of their games in front of 40,000, I don't know how many thousand people, I was so honored and so terrified at the same time that I was gonna blow it with our national anthem. And truth be told, I didn't even know it all that well. I'm a theater kid from Berkeley, California. We don't walk around singing the national anthem. We walk around singing Queen and Prince and Nina Simone. Those are our national anthems. So I had to study up on that national anthem. I had to work with my voice coach about just how I wanted to sing it. And then I went home and I sang that thing backwards and forwards to make sure that I deeply, deeply, deeply had that song memorized, okay? So here is the test to ensure that you have your song completely memorized. We're talking deep, deep memory, not just shallow memory. Can you recite your song lyrics without the melody? Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light, etc. Can you sing your melody saying la without your words? La, 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 la. If you feel like you need one or the other as your crutch, you are not entirely ready for performance yet. Go back and practice your song a little bit more. As well as making sure you are fully memorized, I want you to take your song and stretch yourself a little bit. I want you to sing your song at a faster tempo or at a much slower tempo than your song is. So if you're singing one of those sad love songs, because let's face it, we singers love those sad love songs. If you're singing one of those, I want you to challenge yourself as you're getting closer to your recital. You've been practicing it for a while. Okay, what else can I do with this song? I want you to sing it as an up tempo. See what it sounds like to go, oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light? Just make it faster and see what happens. I also want you to maybe play with the genre a little bit. Maybe you give it a little rock and roll. Oh, say, can you see? And just play around with it. Bend it, twist it a little bit. And in the experimental part of trying your song on in different ways, you might actually find something that you love that you're going to add to your performance that you might not have otherwise done. Also, if you find yourself getting stuck, or if you find yourself being a chameleon and singing it just like one other singer, it's a very common thing. I did it myself as a young singer, and I actually think there's a developmental important thing about mimicking other singers for a while. Even though now I cringe a little bit to think about just how much I copied other singers, I encourage my singers to listen to at least 3 versions of a song that you're going to sing. Go check out other people doing covers on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube and listen, especially live versions, so that you can hear different interpretations and so that then you don't get entirely stuck on your one version. All right? So you have chosen your recital songs. You have downloaded your sheet music so you can play with your sheet music. You are memorizing your song, ensuring that you're memorizing your lyrics, ensuring that you're memorizing your melody backwards and forwards. And then you are stretching yourself with your song, experimenting with it, playing around with it, knowing it backwards and forwards, so that when you finally get up there at your glorious recital, you feel so good and ready and comfortable with your material that you can't help but just shine your brightest and enjoy yourself. So I hope this was useful for you. I hope you break a leg. Stay tuned, because I am up next going to share with you all about actually being there at your recital and how to prepare for what that's going to look and feel like, so that you can stay calm and fabulous throughout your entire recital experience. All right, everyone, I'm so excited for you. I love recital season. Happy singing, break a leg. Until next time, see you guys later.